The Zurich Classic is an interesting tournament. Listen, some people hate it from a betting aspect. I get it. It's very hard to handicap. It's almost impossible to model. There are a lot of people who model. There are a lot of people who like to really dig into that type of stuff, us being a couple of those people. That said, I am okay with breaking up the monotony on tour. I am okay with trying to draw new fans in who might think that this is a cool deal, and so they might tune in and take a look. And of course, look, from a player standpoint, for the players, that's why this field is so star-studded. They get to go down to New Orleans for a week. They get to party down there after all the pressures of the Masters and things like that, and let loose for a little bit before they head into the second major of the year. So I am okay with this tournament. I know there's a lot of people who hate it. I don't know where you stand on it, but yes, from a betting standpoint, it is at least a little difficult to handicap.
For sure. Here's where I stand on it. I usually put 3 units on outrights to try and hit like 20 plus units each week on a golf tournament. I'm not doing that this week. Like this is for fun, for entertainment for me, because I can't really model this field this week with pairs and the scoring format and the play format, where it's best ball on rounds 1 and 3 and then alternate shot in rounds 2 and 4. So
and if you're unaware of what that means, just real quick, best ball on Thursday and Saturday, both guys play their own ball, but the best score is what the team marks down on the card. So if me and Steven were a team, we're both playing the entire hole. If I bogey it and Steven pars it, then we made a par for the hole. So That's how that works on Thursday and Saturday. And then on Friday and Sunday, they actually alternate shots. So I would tee off, then Steven would hit the second, then I would hit the third, et cetera, et cetera. So they actually do alternate shots on Friday and Sunday as well. So not only is it a team event, which is different in the first place, but they're playing 2 different formats throughout the course of the tournament.
Right. So last year, the winners, Cam Smith and Mark Leishman, shot 18 under combined on the best ball days and only 2 under on the alternate shot days. So you have to go really low on those days. And there's really no way to like try and figure out how that's possible other than maybe looking at some birdie or better guys and realizing that their volatility is probably why they haven't won regular stroke play tournaments, but if they're making a lot of birdies, that's going to come in handy in this, where they can make triple bogey and still have a birdie potentially on their card for their team. So, I'm just taking a couple of stabs here. The one that stood out to me in terms of down the board, I did bet Adam Hadwin and Adam Svensson, the Canadian Adams family, at 66-1. That has shortened a little bit, I think even as short as 40-1 at a lot of books. But along those lines, great ball strikers, makes a lot of birdies. Svensson's volatile, though. That's why he hasn't won a tournament, but that might be neutralized in a tournament like this. And then at the top of the board, I don't know what you think, Matt. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to separate the top of this board. These are all great teams, a combination of just awesome, talented golfers like Colin Morikawa and Victor Hovland pairing up. That's why they're the rightful favorites, but also some other guys that are very talented and teamed up with lesser known guys who have played well in this tournament. So I'm kind of intrigued by the hottest player since Tiger Woods, Scottie Scheffler, being the 4th choice on this board, with Ryan Palmer, a guy who's had success in this tournament. We're not going to see Scottie Scheffler as the 4th choice on a board for the rest of the season.
I joined you in the Hadwin and Svensson team. That's the longest actually team that I have in my account for this tournament. But the reason that you mentioned the thing about Svensson is what actually why I like the team and what intrigues me about this. I just want people who go out there and score, and I don't really care about all the other stuff, because again, you win and lose this tournament on the best ball days. And so if you look over the last 36 rounds, Adam Svensson is 22nd in this entire field. By the way, so there's only 80 runners technically, because it's there's teams of 2 guys, but that means there's 160 golfers actually in the field. I mean, it's only 80 in total because, a team is one entity. 33 in ties are what move on on the cut line, but he is 22nd out of 160 golfers in this tournament in birdie or better gained, but he is 144th in bogey avoidance. Well, guess what? I don't care if you can make 3 straight birdies and then you go bogey 3 straight when you have Adam Hadwin as your partner, who is a steady Eddie guy so yes, go make your birdies. If you blow up a couple of holes, who cares? It doesn't matter to me. So I actually embrace the volatility with the Hadwin Svensson team. So I love that team. That is one of my favorite bets that I have in the account here because of the volatility.
And a good top 20 too, considering how far they are down the board. Probably a good top 20 or top 10 bet as well.
The shortest shot I put in the account, no shocker here, Sam Burns, Billy Horschel. If you look at again, I went in and so I didn't model this, like I said, Steven. I just took the tournament ball striking, par 5 scoring, opportunities gained, birdie or better gained, bogey avoidance, because I just wanted to see who these volatile guys were. So these guys that make a lot of bogeys essentially, and a little bit and driving distance. Cause I do think, I know it's been very wet down there. It's a fairly long course as it is anyway. It's 7,425 yards. And so you're not going to get any run out. You're not going to get whatever. So any extra distance you can get, especially if you're going to be playing these alternate shot days, could certainly be of benefit to these teams. And so I did put that as something I was looking at as well. And then I didn't run a model. I just went in and kind of compared where these guys stack up in the field comparatively to everybody else, kind of took like the lowest score, the lowest 2 scores, and kind of threw it out and then built some teams all together. And this Burns Horschel team, not to mention current form for Billy Horschel, who, by the way, under the radar has been playing some really, really great golf here of late. I understand it's a short team here, but they are birdie makers. They do everything well in this tournament. So I love that team. It would not surprise me in the least bit to see Billy Horschel and Sam Burns take this thing down.
Yeah, they played well in it last year too. They finished T4. They were 2 shots back of the winning scores, so they should absolutely contend this week. I don't hate the pick at all, and it's Bermuda greens, and Sam Bermuda Burns is on the team, so can't go wrong with that. Last thing I'll just mention is our golf writer John Hasselbauer put a nice little chart for everybody as well in his tournament preview. You can find it by just going to the drop down on the homepage of thelines.com under odds, under golf. You'll see John Hasselbauer. For a Zurich preview, he's got a nice little chart at the bottom, strokes gained total plus birdies or better gained over the last 36 rounds, and a ranking for the team average for each of the pairings in this tournament. Just another resource that you guys can use to kind of try and navigate and figure out how to approach this wacky, fun little tournament.
The rest of my card, I took the Joaquin Niemann, Mito Pereira team together. I think Mito Pereira, and I think you're of the same boat, I think Mito Pereira is going to end up being a multiple-time champion on tour. I think he has all the skills. He just hadn't been able to put it together for 4 rounds. Well, this is a team tournament, so he can rely on Joaquin Niemann, who has been one of the more steady and better players over the last 18 months on tour as well. Really do like that team and the skill set that they bring together. Will Zalatoris and Davis Riley, another team that I have in my account. I think Davis Riley is another guy that is probably going to find the winner's circle multiple times. He just hasn't quite put everything together yet. But again, we don't need him to put everything together yet. He's one of the longer guys out there. He's inside the top 25 in driving distance, so that's going to help this team. He's inside the top 25 in birdie or betters gained. That's what I'm looking for these like guys that are, and he gives himself opportunities as well. So I don't need to tell you about Will Zalatoris and how awesome he's been since he came on tour. So I'll save all that. But yes, the Zalatoris Riley team is also in the account as well. The only other team that's not in there yet, Steven, that might end up before they tee everything off is the Schwartzel Bezuidenhout team. Schwartzel has been playing under the radar, really, really, really good golf of late. And I think, again, it's the same pattern that I have with some of these other guys. I think Christian Bezuidenhout is a guy that is going to end up finding the winner's circle multiple times over the course of his career. I think he's just way too talented to not win some of these tournaments that he has competed in, but then had one clunker of a round, and he kind of just keeps finding himself sitting in that mid-20s type range or something like that. So those are the teams I'm looking at here. And as I mentioned, it's a fun tournament, fun format. And since there's only 80 runners in this thing, I mean, you're getting some of these guys at 50, 55, 60-ish to 1 in a field that's only 80 deep. I think there's some decent value.
No, I agree with you. And we need an official ruling on, because in 5 seconds you said Bezuidenhout and then Bezuidenhout.
I do it all the time because
what is it? I don't know.
No. That's the thing is I do that on purpose because then I can't be wrong.
There you go.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to say Bezuidenhout, like
Oh, well, if you do that, then we certainly can't be wrong. Then, if we get 3 different pronunciations of it, then we've nailed it. Nailed it. Don't worry about us. We're just sitting over here nailing everything. So yeah, it's
South Africa, I think, has like 5 official languages, and I feel like his last name has every one of them in it.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's unbelievable. But I do like that team as well. Schwartzel in really good form, and then as we said, we'll just call him the Hoot. The Hoot is a guy that I think is poised for some big things on the tour.